For this section, we're going to go ahead and show you how to lube up your shifter cable and housing. This is going to be important because it's going to allow you to save money over time, and you're also going to get the best performance out of your bike. Now, if you remember from earlier sections, your cables are actually stainless steel, so these will rust and oxidize over time. So think about your sweat, think about the water that you expose your bike to, and think about the sports drinks. Especially as the sodium in the drinks of Gatorade, Powerade, and then the sodium in your sweat, it's salt. It's going to oxidize that steel. It acts as a catalyst. So keep that in mind. This is going to allow you to prevent any of that oxidation and to decrease any friction that could be occurring in their respective housing. So what you want to do is go ahead and pedal the bike and shift up to the largest cog on your cassette. I'm going to go ahead and brake and notice that my chain is on my largest cog of my cassette. Now at this point, I'm not going to pedal the bike, but what I'll do is actually go ahead and shift down like I'm going to get into my smallest cog on my rear cassette. And what you can notice is the slack that developed on our cable. Now this is really nice because the frame dropouts, they actually have a little quick release system so that we can actually slide our cable and housing through there, allowing us to free it up and get to the covered, unexposed area of our cable. So what we'll do at this point is we'll want to wipe down any sediment or oxidation, and then we'll go ahead and apply some lube. If it still feels gritty, wipe it down again, apply some more lube, and then you can reinstall it. Let me go ahead and grab my lubricant and my rag here. Notice I'm using the Pedro's Extra Dry. The reason being is as this lubricant dries, it's not going to collect more sediment and stuff like that that's going to increase friction. So what we'll do is gravity's going to be your friend. Just apply some lube up at the top of your cable and allow the bead to just draw down that cable. You want to get a nice good coat over. Suspension will allow it to coat the entire cable, and then you'll just run that housing and allow it to get inside the housing. Now, as I was saying, if it feels real gritty or whatnot, you'll just wipe down any excess, and that'll allow you to actually clean any sediment or oxidation that's occurring in the inside of that housing or on the cable. So at this point, we've applied our lube, we've wiped it down. It feels very good. It's nice and smooth, very little friction at all. Now I'm just going to reinsert my cable housing into the dropout of the frame at the rear chainstay here. And then before I go ahead and start pedaling my bike, I want to go ahead and shift back up like I'm back in that largest cog. Reason being is I don't want to put any undue jump in my shifting on these parts of the bike. And you can go ahead and do that if you want. It's just my personal preference. It sounds really rough on the parts. So, we've got our bike in gear. You've lubed your shifter cable. This is something that you can do and knock out in a couple of minutes on your bike, whether it's a mountain bike, hybrid bike, or road bike. I'd say especially for mountain bikes, you really need to keep this in mind. This is a very low cable and housing. So any creeks or streams you're going through, sediment that builds up on there, it will create the friction more so on a mountain bike just because of the elements you're exposing your ride to. So a few easy steps, get the best performance out of your shifting, save yourself some money. Let's go ahead and jump to the next section and show you how to lube up your brake cable.